Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, 2nd's Soundwave, and there is no new news today. So today we are just going to finish the build of the Helmwige REINCAR. But before we start back up with that, I want to just show you a couple quick little mini projects I had running this weekend. So on Saturday, I did complete the panel lining of the RE100 Bawoo. I had this guy half panel lined and sitting disassembled in a box for a while as he waited completion, and I finally got around to finishing the panel lines. And you probably cannot see them very well on the camera at all because it is very bright in here, but I can assure you there are some pretty cool little gray panel lines all over this guy, and I used gray because I like the gray panel lines to give it a nice kind of subtle look that's not quite as sharp and obvious as the black panel lines, which I've just never really been a fan of. And then today I did some cleanup on my very first Master Grade I ever built, which was the Master Grade Red Astray. So I don't know what I even used for tools when I built this guy, but there were massive nub marks everywhere, so I cleaned off all the ones I could. There were some that were just beyond salvation, but there's still a lot of work I want to do on this guy. I need to paint the gold parts on the swords. I'm going to panel line him. I did get a little bit of work done on a sword. Mostly on the blade section here where I did some panel lining on it, and I also applied those sort of tribal looking marking stickers, which didn't go on super great, but they're good enough looking from a distance that I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, going back and coming back to this kit, doing a little more work on it has really made me appreciate this mold all over again. It's never been one of my favorite kits, but it does have some pretty awesome detail, and there's some really cool things going on with this kit. So once again, it is time to work on the Helmwige REINCAR. Now last night I did start a little late with this, so I didn't actually have time to get very far in the build, and I was only able to complete the torso. And not only did I only complete the torso, apparently I actually had this waist stem on backwards, as many of you pointed out in the comments. So I did get that swapped around earlier today, and that's good, because now that means we can just move right on with the build. So for a high grade, this guy actually has a pretty complicated head build. We're going to start by taking the neck polycap and sliding it into the back of the head frame. And then this little smiley face looking piece is going to fit on the underside of this. It looks like, yep, that's in there. And we're just going to slide the horns in the back. Pop this piece onto this side. And then you put a similar piece on the other side and clip them together, and you got this going on. Then this yellow section goes on the back, and this little blue piece goes on the front. And now we can just pop these two together to put the head on the torso, and this is looking pretty good. He's got his little horns that he can tip down and ram people with. He can actually look up super far, and that is really cool. Now let's move on to the arms. So we're going to start by making the shoulder joint. Then we're going to take this little hinge piece and attach it onto this. Then we're going to take this blue flap and stick it in there. Then we're going to take this massive piece of shoulder armor and we're going to drop it down onto that whole assembly. And then that whole thing is going to clip onto the shoulder joint we made earlier. Now we're going to make the elbow joint, and we're going to attach it onto the forearm. And we take this gray piece with a yellow sticker attached to it, and this is one of the few stickers they use on this kit. We're just going to pop this in right here, and then we're just going to cap the whole thing off. Now we're going to drop this round piece down over the top and attach this little wire slash cable slash piston section down in here. Now we can just plug the two parts of the arm together, just like that. Then we can plug the hand in the arm and the back onto the hand. And then we have the complete upper body of the Helmwige REINCAR with both arms attached to the torso. And yeah, I kinda nicked my thumb when I was building this arm. So the waist for the Helmwige REINCAR is literally the easiest thing ever. It's just these three pieces. And the completed waist pops onto the Helmwige's torso, just like so. So when building the legs, we're going to start at the top with the hip joint. So we're going to take this poly cap and push it into here, and then cap that assembly off. We're going to plug it into the top of this, and we're going to attach on this. Then we're going to stick this on here, and we're going to stick this on here. And then this little ankle connector goes on the bottom of the frame just like that, and there we have the leg frame. Then we're going to combine these two pieces and stick this over the top. Then we're going to stick that whole foot assembly onto the bottom of the foot. And alternatively, you could use this extended toe piece. We're going to pop the foot on here, and then the thigh armor goes on. And then the calf armor. And the kneecap. The hip guard. And finally, the ankle cover. And this just goes right onto the waist. And there we go. Body done. And finally, to make the one lone weapon this kit has, we're going to take this little stick piece, stick it in here at the bottom of the blade half. We're going to cover that up with the other half of the blade, just like this. Pushing down a little bit at a time, making sure all the little tabs are locked in nice and securely to make a surprisingly light weapon for its size. Then we're going to take this and stick them together. Then stick this on top of that and clamp it shut. Then we're going to stick these together right here. So here we have the completed Helmwige REINCAR. Now I got him here standing among his 1/100 scale friends just to have all three of the kits I kind of worked on this weekend all grouped together. Of course, I think they look pretty cool together. Obviously, Helmwige is looking a little diminutive, being a mere high grade. But that's all the Helmwige REINCAR I'll be showing you tonight. As always, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the full review for this pretty cool looking IBO model kit. And as always, I'm your host, 2nd's Soundwave, and I'll see you next time.